Hi rugby fans, Amy here. I hope you've all had a lovely summer, and for those of you who've been in pre-season training, then we're really glad that you survived long enough to press play. Okay, so the Tyrrell's Premier League is just around the corner now, so myself and the other girls at the Women's Rugby Show thought that we would give you a little preview and our predictions. I've got the prestigious honour of kicking things off, so to speak, with Firwood Waterloo ladies and Saracens women. So without further ado, let's jump into it and start off with the women in black. Now on paper, this looks like the perfect fairy tale. They've already won 2 championships, they're going for that 3rd, but things have been a little bit quiet up in the northwest of London. Now, I'm not saying that they haven't done any business, because we know that they have, and we'll be getting to that in just a little bit. But they haven't done as much business as we may have expected. And they've lost some decent players. Georgie Gulliver has left, the scrum half. We saw her ride off into the sunset after the Tyrrell's Premier 15s final. So, who have they brought in to replace her? She can't be replaced. She's irreplaceable. But who have they brought in to try and cover? They've brought in Jodie Mallard. Now, she is an under-20s England player, so we have very high hopes for her, and I'm really excited to see how that's going to pan out. We've seen them also sign Molly Morrissey. Now, Morrissey by trade is a second row, but we know with Saracens they have a habit of training their forwards to be multifaceted players. Take the versatile Cleo twins for a perfect example. With another Red Rose, Alina Perry, leaving the club, it really wouldn't surprise me if they trained Molly up to cover all 3 rows. So she's definitely one to watch out for in the future. Another signing that they brought in this summer is Canadian international Mackenzie Carson. And they've also shuffled things around in the back room as well. Forwards coach Neil Harris has stepped down, and in came former men's player John Wilding to take position as assistant coach. However, one of the biggest signings that they've probably done this season has to be Rocky Clark. Now, Rocky Clark was playing for Wasp Ladies up until last season, and even played in the Barbarians game over the summer. She's now got a job at Saracens in the coaching department. This has to be classed as a major coup for Ulsterberry, so adding Clark into this mix is just going to improve their forward play, their scrum play and their breakdown, so they are going to be absolutely deadly this season. The only negative thing that I have to say about the Saracens women is on their injuries. So they have Zoe Harrison and Poppy Cleal out at the moment, recovering from their operations, and with the likes of Bryony Cleal, Marley Packer and Vicky Fleetwood being in the wars themselves, then they really need to be able to strengthen if they get injured, if they think that they're going to go for another title. Well, it's prediction time, and this is going to be a huge statement, and it might not go down too well, but I don't think that they are going to go for 3 titles in a row. I think with the other teams out there in the Tyrrell Premier League strengthening really well this summer, in particular one, I think you may know who it is, but you'll have to wait until another episode to find out. I think, yeah, they will get to the final, but I'm just not too sure if they're going to do it again this year. Okay, so we have our first club of our preview done and dusted, and now it's on to the second one. Now, it's probably fair to say that where Saracens had the best season ever last year, this team had the complete opposite. Firwood Waterloo ladies had their most dire season. They won 3 games the whole season, and those were coming in the first games of the campaign. In fact, they didn't score more than 4 tries throughout any one game in the season. And there were 4 games where they failed to register any points at all. Their defensive record was also less than impressive. So taking that into consideration, where does a club in dire need of strengthening all over the pitch start? Well, in the dugout. The Wood have decided that the biggest change needed to come at the top. So former head coach Giles Heckerty has been replaced with Neil Ryan as director of rugby, plus Callum York, Chris Hall and Mark Jones as the key coaching core. Aside from that, there haven't been too many additions for the Northwesterners, especially in the squad department, but as long as they can keep hold of their top players, that shouldn't be a problem. But that is a problem. Arguably, Firwood's 2 top players, England flanker Sarah Beckett and versatile back Georgie Perez-Redding, have left the club over the summer to Harlequins women and Worcester Warriors women respectively. Not only is it bad to lose players to clubs around you in the table, in Perez-Redding's case, but it's even worse when you don't bring in anybody to replace them. They are really going to have to rely on the local talent. Anyone moving to Liverpool, Leeds, Manchester or the surrounding areas who are at uni. Plus they have their rising stars such as England under-20 stars, Tatisha Harper and Laura Perrin. And let's just hope that they don't go anywhere before the 1920 campaign starts. With that said, it's time for me to predict where Firwood Waterloo ladies is going to end up at the end of the season. And I think this might be a bit of a tough listen for some of you fans out there. But I'm afraid with no one coming in, top stars leaving, inactivity over the summer, it all adds to what I think is going to be a really, really tough season for the club. They actually have a decent set of fixtures to open up their campaign. Gloucester Hartpury and Bristol Bears women at home sandwiched with an away trip to DMP Sharks. So if they can get points on the table early, they may finish higher than my forecast. But because in a season where the RFU are probably going to be changing the stipulations for teams finishing at the bottom of the table, that is one place they really do not want to be. Unfortunately for Firwood, that's exactly where I fear they're going to finish. So there we go, those were my predictions and previews for Sarries and Firwood Waterloo ladies. So I hope you enjoyed it, but we want to know what your predictions are. So please comment down below and let us know what you think. Also, we have the rest of our previews and predictions to come, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. And don't forget to give it a like, give it a share with your family or teammates, and I will see you very soon.